Hello and welcome to the first edition of our monthly book club. I am excited to introduce Diane Dehoney from the Paul Sawyier Public Library, who has chosen our first book that we will be reading for the month of May.
Thanks so much, Abby. We appreciate you all reaching out to us and involving us in this great new project. We're excited to see where it goes. So as you said, I have chosen the first book that we'll be reading for the book club, and our selection for the month of May will be The 10,000 Doors of January. And that is a novel by Kentucky author Alix E. Harrow. And this is her 2019 debut novel. I would say, well, of course it's fiction, but I would say it's more of a historical fantasy, maybe a little magical realism tossed in there, but also definitely a coming of age novel. I would say also don't let the fantasy genre scare you. A lot of folks who aren't normal fantasy readers might not pick this up off the shelf on their own, but trust me, this book has wide appeal. We've read it in some other small groups, and everyone has just really enjoyed it, and it's been a great book for discussion. So do give it a shot. We hope you'll do that because I think you'll really enjoy it. It's already been a Los Angeles Times bestseller. It was a finalist for the 2020 Hugo Award, also the Nebula, the Locus, and the World Fantasy Awards. So those are some big awards that this book earned credit for. It also has a Goodreads rating of 4.07 if you do Goodreads. So that gives you a little idea there of its appeal to the audience. But I thought, Abby, that we would just give a little blurb on the book so you know kind of what you'll be getting into and have a taste of what's to come in the 10,000 Doors of January. So I'll read that for you guys. In the early 1900s, a young woman embarks on a fantastical journey of self-discovery after finding a mysterious book in this captivating and lyrical debut. In a sprawling mansion filled with peculiar treasures, January Scholar is a curiosity herself. As the ward of the wealthy Mr. Locke, she feels little different from the artifacts that decorate the halls, carefully maintained, largely ignored, and utterly out of place. Then she finds a strange book, a book that carries the scent of other worlds and tells a tale of secret doors, of love, adventure, and danger. Each page turn reveals impossible truths about the world, and January discovers a story increasingly entwined with her own. So that gives you a little taste of what this book is all about. And there are lots of reviews on it, but one that I saw that really stood out to me was by another author, another best-selling author, who actually wrote the book Alice and Lost Boys, and her name is Christina Henry. And she says that this book is a gorgeous, aching letter to stories, storytellers, and the doors they lead us through. Absolutely enchanting. So I felt like this, if you're a book lover, as of course I am, and many of us are, if you're participating in book discussions, that may resonate with you, and I think you'll really enjoy that. I will say in the paperback version, which I have here today, there is a reading group guide in the back, as well as an interview with the author. And I find that those, especially for discussions, those are really valuable resources. So check those out. And I do want to focus a little bit before we get into where you can get the book, of course. I wanted to give you a little info on the author herself. I did mention she is a Kentucky author, but the bio on her author website is pretty fantastic. It's really quirky, and I loved it. So I wanted to read a little bit of that to you all today as well. This is in her words, of course. Alix Harrow says, "I've been a student and a teacher, a farm worker and a cashier, an ice cream scooper and a 9-to-5 office dweller. I've lived in tents and cars, cramped city apartments, and lonely cabins, and spent a summer in a really sweet 79 VW Vanagon, Westphalia. I have library cards in at least 5 states. Now I'm a full-time writer living with my husband and 2 semi-feral kids in Berea, Kentucky. It is, I'm very sure, the best of all possible worlds. So that's kind of fun and gives you a little taste of her personality, which drew me into this book as well. But I guess you want to know, of course, how to get your hands on the book.
Yeah. If there's like physical or digital copies that people can get a hold of at the library, that would be great.
Well, we would love for you all to come down and browse with us and get a hold of a copy of this book, or you can also get digital copies online through our our digital resources. So you can get a copy of the physical book. We have those in the library collection, of course. We also have a book on CD, so you can have an audiobook version, a physical copy of that. But also we do have 2 digital formats of this title. They're downloadable as both ebook and e-audiobook through Kentucky Libraries Unbound. And you can find that on our website. And if you have any trouble logging into that, you'll need your library card number and your PIN number. But if you have any trouble, of course, please give us a call or stop by, and we're happy to help you.
I have to say their app that I have on my iPad has been my favorite thing for the last year. It's super easy to use, and all I had to do was just scan my library card for it.
Absolutely. It's so handy. And even though I'm a person who loves to have a book in my hand, I cannot tell you how convenient it is to have that app when you're stuck out somewhere, or you're traveling, or you're outside or stuck in the car or something like that. So on a vacation or something. So it's really been handy, especially through the pandemic and folks not being able to be out as much. But I will say this, we talked a little bit about this earlier, Abby. Our hours have changed recently. So if you're interested in coming into the library, we're open Monday through Thursday from 10 to 6 and Friday and Saturday from 10 to 4. We are still closed on Sundays. So you might keep that in mind. But also, if you don't feel comfortable coming down, we do have those digital resources available through our website, and you can always call us or send us a message through our chat function on our website during regular hours if you have any issues, any problems. We're happy to help.
Yeah, and I found with that app, it lets you know like how many books are on hold at the moment, how many are available, and how long your wait will be. And it's usually never that long at all. So that's a great resource. But we were talking before, if people do burn through books pretty quickly, what should they read next? So do you have any recommendations for that?
Yes, that's a great point. Although The 10,000 Doors of January is a standalone novel, if you fall in love with Alix Harrow's writing style, you can also check out her newest book, which actually came out in October of 2020. And it's called The Once and Future Witches. And if you end up with a paperback copy of The 10,000 Doors of January, it actually includes the first chapter of The Once and Future Witches in the back of that book. So you can get a little sneak peek of that to see if you'd be interested. But we also have that book available in our collection if you're interested in checking it out.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Diane, so much for joining me today and providing our first book. I look forward to reading it. It's usually not my typical genre, but I'm really excited to branch out. And I think that's the point of this book club, is to just find something new and interesting that you may have not picked up in the library before. It
always brings around a really good discussion when you get people out of their comfort zones, even when that's choosing a book that's just a little out of your comfort zone. It can really spur some wonderful conversation, and you might find a new favorite genre or a new favorite author in the meantime.
Exactly. Well, thank you. I look forward to reading it, and I look forward to what everyone else has to say about it as well.
Thanks, Abby.